Graham, an interesting program looking at raising the level of our commercial beef herd.
Fantastic, Rob. Yeah, it's going to be really good. We're going to see exactly what's going to work here. Mendip Hills, they've AI'd about close to 400 to 500 cows. So once the trial's over, which I think is about a 3 to 5 year time frame, we're going to know what's going to work on this property as far as EBVs go.
Can you just recap on what the program is doing?
Well, the program's it's very commercially based, so we're trying to work out what is going to be working. So, lights of here, today's results are mainly 200 day weight, so that's the weaning weight. So we've obviously used bulls with different EBVs for all the different traits, like weaning weight, 400, 600, IMF, fat, calving ease, all sorts of things. So we're going to have a fair idea once it's finished as to what's going to happen, and the beauty of it is that it's also, because it's a long-term project, we're going to see how the cows or the heifers by these certain bulls are coming through, whether they're getting back in calf and all those things. And we're also going to be able to see a lot of carcass data, which probably hasn't been a great deal of that done in the beef industry in New Zealand yet.
Now, you're using AI as part of this.
Using AI, there's been about 10 different Hereford bulls used as AI, and then there's been a few different Angus bulls used over the heifers. So we've picked out some. Bryden, who's the owner of Mendip Hills here, and Simon Lee, the manager, they were keen not to go too far outside of the square as to where we've been buying bulls in the past. We've kept a close eye on the fertility here. We like to keep an eye on the predictability, so that's not only phenotype but also predictability in their EBVs, because you can easily manufacture a EBV by, say, using a high birth weight over a low birth weight and having one in the middle, but we're trying to stay away from those type of animals. We're trying to keep a close eye on the predictability of their EBVs. So yeah, hopefully we're going to have a pretty good indication. I just had a discussion when I was coming down the stairs with one of the Angus breeders here, and he said, "Oh, Graham, you're a bit too fussy on the fat EBVs." And I said to him, well, we're going to know in a few years' time as to what the story is. So everyone's got their different ideas. Hopefully in a few years' time we'll know what's going to be suitable for Mendip and probably a fair part of North Canterbury.
Is this program going across the whole country?
Yes, there's 4 other places. Mendip's obviously the main Hereford place. There's another place in the South Island down at Caberfay. Then there's 3 places up in the North Island. But and there's been link bulls used between each property. So and then it's also linked over to the Australian ones. So it's going to be really good information coming out.
You're using a lot of breeds. It's not just Angus.
Hereford's Angus.
You've got the stabilisers in there.
The stabilisers, Simmentols, Charolais. And there's some black beauties, but don't ask me much about those, Rob, I'm not too sure, but that's come from part of the Australian program, so there's some of those being used as well.
So for the commercial breeder, this is bringing in line with what the stud breeders have been doing for some time now.
It is, Rob, and down the track, like with all of the NATE tags and those things, the information you can get, if they can get the cost of DNA testing for the parentage, like the commercial farmer's going to have a fair idea on what's producing in that as to what calf a bull's by. What bull the calf is by and out of what cows. So it's going to be pretty interesting down the track, and it's going to be quite easy to get that information as long as the cost of some of these DNA tests aren't too high.
We're just about to start the bull sale season. How's it looking?
Well, they are just now. Before bull sales, you're actually quite busy because you're going around just checking to make sure that all your studs are lined up for their auction sales and also the occasional on-farm one. But you've also taken people around looking at bulls, and it's going to be an interesting season this year. We've had fantastic calf sales, but to levy that off a wee bit, we've had a few cows go out of North Canterbury and Marlborough because of the drought. So I'd say the top-end bulls will sell well. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. We'll know a lot more by the end of June.